Folks, the play the Dolphins are about to run is based on one that I originally gave to John Gruden in 2018. It wound up somehow in Brian Daboll's hands, brought it to the Giants, but it has never been ran before out of this formation, and it's a no-no. Before you see what is about to unfold one after at a time very quickly, the reason is no. There's no wide split in beyond the numbers. That's the defense in the area of the appointed attack here. So let's watch the play as it unfolds, and I'll explain to you what's supposed to happen before it does. First, the halfback here gets a fake, and you're really supposed to have this one. He comes across, this goes in motion first, all right? But let's watch how they did it. Okay, here's the fake. That's normal and here's the tight end coming across. Okay, fine. But here's the problem. That's not who you throw to. And not only that, you're supposed to have the person to split in. The way it's supposed to be designed is the split in here is supposed to be out wide running a fly pattern. This person runs a swing. This person runs the second swing. That's how it's designed. And that's after the fake. So that's why you got the interception, because the way I designed it respected space. Mike McDaniel didn't think about that. They didn't run it in a computer to test it. So guess what? Interception. Tua gets the blame for it. Unfortunately, the play should never have seen the light of day. Okay, folks, here's the story about how that whole play really came about back in 2018. Hey, everybody, this is called the read option jet swing play, and I gave it to Oakland Raiders coach John Gruden at the 2018 NFL annual meeting. And here's the story, because the play that I gave him has become used, at least the basic action of it, around the National Football League. Listen to this. Leaving the reception after the second day of the NFL annual meeting, and I have a different way. And in this instance, John Gruden and I, the Oakland Raiders head coach, have had this thing that was established in 1998, where I had an idea for a play, and he'd say, "Yeah, write the play now." And he actually meant it. So like my concept, he invited me to the Raider office in 98. I didn't follow up on it. I was working for the mayor at the time. No political reason, just schedule. So 2004, I ran into him at the Lee Steinberg Super Bowl party in Houston, and he said, "Well, just don't stand there, get the napkin." So I did. I drew up a play, loved it. Then fast forward to when he was on ESPN covering the NFL draft, I wrote him another play idea, a variation of what I said before, like that too. This time had something completely different. But I said to him, because I ran to Coach Gruden at the Combine, and he says, "Look, I need ideas." So I said, "Okay." And I said, "I got a play for you." He goes, "Look, I need ideas." I said, "I'll get you one. So I ran into him. I said, "Hey, I got your play." And he goes, "Well, go get it. So he so believed in wanting to see my idea that he had Raiders public relations director Will Kiss wait for me to get that play. And I didn't have it in my bag. I wound up redrawing it, but he now has that. And what it is a kind of look, it involves putting the fullback in motion from wing on the tight end side, and just before the fullback gets to the quarterback, the ball is snapped. The halfback, that's on the left. The halfback remember, he's in motion. Then the halfback is on the right, just behind where the guard would be next to the quarterback, but about maybe a half yard behind the quarterback. That halfback goes in front of the quarterback, crossbuck style, toward the opposite side, guard, tackle, hole. And meanwhile, the fullback runs I call it a jet swing. The split end on the side runs a fly pattern, okay? So immediately there's a high load pressure put on the defense. If the quarterback comes up close in coverage, and the safety rushes over, you leave that hole where you can throw to the split end. That's number one. Number two is if the linebacker either linebacker blitzes, you throw to number two, okay? Straight up. Now, if the safety comes across, however, to cover the fullback in motion, right? The tight end is running an up pattern on the opposite side, so you immediately throw the tight end. Tight end is going to be wide open because the safety will be gone and the free safety will be influenced to take a peek at or cover the split end. That's the play concept. It's really two plays. One emphasizing the split end jet swing combination, the other emphasizing the jet swing halfback handoff combination. So you hand off with a halfback if, well, the linebacker is back on the weak side and the strong safety goes in motion with a fullback, because that means that the crossbuck is more likely to break open. So there you go. That's the play I gave to him.
This was 8 months ago. Hey everybody, happy Thanksgiving. This is the Giants version of a play that I created and gave to John Gruden at the NFL annual meeting in 2018, his first year. It features the flanker in motion, the halfback next to the quarterback on the quarterback's right, weak side, and then on the snap of the ball, you can either hand off to the halfback crossing at the snap of the ball, or roll out and throw to the motion tight end or flanker, or throw deep to the split end at the top of your screen. The Giants chose the motion man. Watch this. Here's the motion flanker. Here's the snap. See that fake? All right. Now see the roll? All right. They threw right there, not to the motion man, but they threw to the tight end coming out right here, coming across, right? The second person, because there's two people. You have the first one coming in motion, and the second one coming across here, and the halfback, all right? Now, what you're about to see is my video where I described this play in my video in Orlando back then, because I had just given it to Will Kiss, who was the Raiders PR director, who was waiting for me at the request of Coach Gruden.
You saw that video.
This is the play as it should be structured and ran for the purpose of instruction. Slot, if you're going to run it to the right. Split end here, lined up outside the numbers by a yard plus. Flanker in the slot, biased toward the split end. Halfback between guard and tackle, 3.5 yards back. Quarterback here at 4 yards. Some use 5. Flanker here on the wing. And then finally the tight end. Pre-snap, what you're looking for is the lineup of the cornerback here. You want to see if the cornerback is close, which would indicate bump and run or man coverage. Back, more than likely you're going to get a zone with the cornerback coming over here to the flat zone here, this linebacker coming the hook zone, and a deployment that would indicate a 5 short, 3 deep zone and a 3-4 defense, or 4 short, 3 deep zone if one of these 4 linebackers is adding to the pass rush. Now, what we're looking for here at the snap is the quarterback takes the ball, the halfback passes. The quarterback does not give a full fake, but kind of a hint of a fake, makes 1 step, okay, and then 2 steps. And meanwhile, the fullback has started in motion over here. The ball should be snapped just before the fullback gets to the center. The ball is snapped.
the fullback goes out quickly to the flat. So the idea is, as the flanker is moving to run this flat pattern, this is the jet swing, remember the play? Here is clearing out the cornerback. Meanwhile, cornerback we have here. We expect that this safety may double team or definitely watch this side. But if the safety doesn't, okay, pre-snap, if the safety is over here, and we have our split in out wide, we want number one. We want this thrown on time. Take 2 steps, 1, 2, thrown on time into the area. All right? If we're not getting that look, if the cornerback's back too far, safety's far too over much here, then we look at number 2, the flanker, because some teams get a little lazy about covering the flanker in this situation. So if he's wide open, immediately throw here. But if the cornerback is running to him, don't, because that could be a pick, okay, by the time it gets there. Instead, you have the fullback coming over, number 3. Nice little drain for you to throw to as the quarterback, and that's the primary approach. We have variation of the play where we actually hand off to the halfback. Why? Think about what I just said. Possibility here that if the fullback happens to go in motion, he may very well be followed by the safety or the linebacker. In either case, there's a fair probability that this area is vacated. You want to keep the defense honest by running the handoff version of this play. That's not baked in here. Originally it was, but as I was telling John, I didn't want to give the quarterback too much to think about. I didn't want to cause a mistake to be made by a fumble, by a botched handoff, the halfback trying to take a ball that wasn't meant for him, and all that sort of thing, okay? And then note, lastly, we have alert. Note the pattern. This is a classic Bill Walsh shake pattern. This is not a shake pattern, I'm sorry. Shake is another one. But the concept here is the same, created by Coach Walsh. Tight end goes out, fakes the outside pattern, the out pattern, but then comes right back inside and positions himself for a nice ball down the middle along the hash. It's a classic pattern. So this is the play. This is the jet sweep pass play that I created, that I originally gave to John Gruden. And then when I came to the NFL annual meeting, I had left the original set of plays at the hotel and had to draw it up on the spot. So here we go. Subscribe to Zenny62 and bookmark OaklandNewsNowBlog.com. And keep this in mind the next time you see this play ran, because then you can say, hey, look, I know how it should be ran. What the Dolphins did was they bunched everyone up inside, and they had the classic no-no. 2 receivers close to each other. You don't see that here. Look at the spacing. Look at the spacing, okay? Look at the spacing here, all right? Space matters, folks. Keep that in mind. You space out your receivers, you don't get interceptions.